My name is Erin Suliak, and I'm primarily a fiber artist. I'm also a dancer, choreographer, and performer, and I live in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, where I was born. I grew up around textiles. Both of my grandparents were really mastered textile artists, embroiderers, quilters, sewists. And I grew up in that environment, not realizing how rich of an environment that was. And so I started making quilts at the age of 8. I made my first quilt. But really, it was around university when I started to dip into the idea of making contemporary quilts that actually told story, that actually were art pieces as well as being practical things. But since then, I've branched out into working with a number of different kinds of fiber. I love wool. I love doing my own dyeing, natural dyeing as well. And I have also since then moved into sort of a mixed media textile and fiber artwork as well, so sculptural work especially. I know, it's awful, yeah, but at the same time, they're offering themselves up to be reused too, right? And that's what I do. I source a lot of my material like at thrift stores or at the dump or whatever, or my own closet. You know, if something gets kind of worn out or one of my kids wears out something, then I like to churn it into whatever I'm working on. And especially with the textile work, I just feel that, fabric and textiles can carry a big memory. So they have a memory, they do have a past. Sometimes you know that explicitly, sometimes you don't. But you know that, it's taken 40 years to get to your hands. So what do you do with that? And I've found that working with textiles that have memory like that or have depth like that is much more interesting to me, rather than buying something new, buying fabric new, which I still do as well. But so much of my work now really goes back to that thrifted material or the found material and repurposing it, because it's just so much more interesting, but it's a sustainability piece too. Like, what's the point of purchasing new, thinking of all of the carbon footprint that goes around creating that fabric and then getting it to you? I'd much rather try to find creative ways of using things, and then those things I feel also just have much more value. They have more interest for sure.